Hi, I'm William,
Hey everybody, I'm Karinia.
and this is our course from losing to winning in marriage and relationships. And if you watched the last video, we talked about the healing process and having faith and gaining wisdom. And we want not only to be healed, because that's great being healed. You know, you mess up, I mess up, we heal, that's good. But how do you stay healed? And then how do you move forward into the good things that you want to do in marriage and life? So I created a little game.
Oh boy.
And if you watch this course, these are recorded real. So I don't know how this is gonna react, but this is called new traits and new behaviors. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kind of bring up an old bad trait. Now remember, we heal, so we don't want to go backwards once we heal. We want to develop something new. So I'm gonna give a card and I'm gonna say, this is the old way, not my wife, but somebody else would react. Not you.
Okay.
Somebody else will react this way, and I want you to give me a new trait and a new behavior.
Okay.
Are you ready to play my game?
I'm not ready. I'm not understanding. So am I going to be the old Karinia or the new?
No,
Karinia?
I'm going to give you the old Karinia.
Okay.
And you tell me how to be the new, and I may have to give you the scenario.
Okay.
Okay. So my first card is bringing up the past. Like you did something and you just remind me 3 weeks ago you didn't take out the trash or you didn't do this. That's the old way. How would you handle this in a new way? Don't bring up the past. What's a new behavior for that?
So since I already told you guys about speaking kind words, I would probably say, honey, you know the trash man runs at 6 o'clock in the morning? I just try to ask a question. Instead of saying, can you make sure the trash is out? The man runs at 6 o'clock in the morning. I would probably just come at you a little bit different and just do a reminder instead of telling you what to do. Or I probably wouldn't say anything about the trash and just, you smell it, you deal it. Go deal with it.
All right. Well, as you see, a new behavior. So, ladies, guys, when you forgive somebody, please, please, please do not bring up the past. Develop something new. Like my wife said, let the trash stink. Eventually, people get tired of smelling it. Maybe that's not the best example, but it's a good example. So, number one, we'll give you check. All right. So, here's my second one. Watch cheap shots. So, we all know cheap shots are when you hit below the belt and you know that ain't right. Like, for example, you act just like your mama.
Wow.
How would you rephrase that? Cheap shot.
I would probably say, you are truly your mother's child. There's no other way to really say that. But yes, my husband is notorious for throwing cheap shots.
Oh, is that a cheap shot?
And I just threw one. You see how that? Yes. So
what new wife, new wine. We got new glasses, y'all. We drinking out of, and this from our book, Marriage Nuggets. It says have an attitude of gratitude, and yours says don't be fake. So I guess
I keep it
right.
real.
So she talked about my cheap shots. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so you want me to see how do we watch the cheap shots? Again, you have to really choose your words carefully. Think before you speak. Mm-hmm. And so that's my wisdom to give to you.
Check. I'll give you credit for that one.
Yes.
Now, you ready for the last one?
No.
All right. Don't overreact. Now, I'm going to set up the scenario. You can hold the card so people can see it's on there. When I was at work and it was my shift ended at 10:00 p.m. At 10:06, I got a phone call. Where are you at? I'm at work. Now, how many people in the past You know, they may be forgiving somebody for something they shouldn't have done, and their clock is 5 minutes past the time they should have been normally coming in the door, and you overreact. What's a new way, a new trait on how not to overreact? It's 10:06. They should have been there at 10.
Well, I think he should set his cell phone and put the alarm on there to call his wife soon as he gets in the car so that he could beat me to calling him and say, hey, honey, I'm on my way home. So, yes, sometimes I do overreact. However, it's out of love and concern. It's late. I don't care if it's just 6 minutes over, but that's just me. I think that definitely overreacting can sometimes be a hindrance and build walls because your spouse may not want to tell you something that's very personal or very important because you always overreact. So if you could really kind of console some of that or bring it down a little bit and just be a good listener, take some deep breaths, maybe not at that moment respond, maybe you need to walk away and think about it. So some keys to help you not overreact is to really think about, is this something worthy of responding to at the time? Or is this a time for him to just vent and get something out? So it takes practice. It's not something you develop overnight, especially if you always react and respond when somebody hits your hot button. So you have to consciously work at not overreacting.
Right. And those were just 3 scenarios. But the point is, you have to develop into something new. You can't, after you heal, you can't expect to go back to the same thing. You can't expect to be the same person. You have to change with the times. You have to change with the seasons. You have to constantly be changing. You have to constantly be developing something new. And the first newness you develop is you. Your reaction, your responses, the way you look at the situation, it needs to be new. As I gave you those questions, ask yourself, when that same situation or that trigger comes up that would really upset you, ask yourself, how can I deal with this in a new way? How can I make this different? How can I change? New traits, new behaviors.
So, honey,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just curious.
Mm-hmm.
We went through those 3 traits.
Mm-hmm.
What does that have to do with these chips and salsa?
Well, I'm kind of hungry, and I like chips and salsa. No, it doesn't have anything to do with this. Me just being hungry. It's to illustrate new behaviors, and I don't want to just talk about new behaviors and the way we react, just not to going off the deep end and flying off the handle if somebody's 5 minutes late. But we also want to talk about developing new things and exploring new things with your partner, because relationships are all about creating good memories, having fun, doing new things together. So we're doing something new right here, and this is something you can do in your house with your partner. I have 2 different types of salsa. This is kind of medium mild, and this is hot. Now, you have to understand, we're developing new traits and new. Go ahead and eat one. It's okay. It's all right. I even know I ain't got through yet. And go ahead and get you one on. We all gonna come like these cups of salsa. We're all gonna have different ideas and things that we want, because we want you to enjoy your situation, enjoy your marriage, enjoy your life, enjoy your time together. And we want to help you, especially because some of y'all may not really had it great for a while, and now you're just talking, now you're just communicating. Now, how do we get from just communicating and talking to actually having fun, actually doing some things that we actually enjoy doing? Well, this salsa chip analogy works like this. So you got to start somewhere small, somewhere mild, because it may be, when I think about something mild, it may be I write you a nice letter. It may be we hold hands outside in public in front of all my coworkers and my job. and let everybody see that I open the door for my wife. It may start out something small like that. And I like to call this the mild salsa. Did you want that chip?
I'll get a small one.
That's mild. That's where you start. And sometimes, especially early on in marriages, people have arguments and disagreements over what they want, their desires, how to get their needs met. And we're talking about developing something new. And it's a process. You start out mild, then eventually you may work your way to hot. But be careful, because everybody don't like hot. Now, I like hot, and hot is kind of like, let's say, I'll be like, honey, I want to go ride motorcycles, and you know, in the back country at 180 miles an hour. See, she might not like that.
Dangerous.
But see, it's just like the hot. Not everybody likes that. You may like it. Your partner may not like it. But work your way up. And if you don't get to this point, it's okay. But the point is, we're trying to tell you new traits and new behaviors. Start mild. Work your way up. Work your list. Create a list of 3 mild things. Create a list of 3 medium things. And then eventually create a list of 3 hot things. But you got to understand that not everybody is going to like the same thing. And I enjoy hot because I like hot stuff. It's good. But my wife might not like it.
I'm going to try the hot. I'm not a hot, spicy person. But since you're making the analogy that we could try things, I'm going to try
something new. There we go.
Something new.
Now be careful, it's hot.
I'm just going to get a dab. Very little.
Now see, this is how it worked. We both did something new together. We both tried something together. I like hot, I brought that to the table. She likes mild, she brought that to the table. But we both are trying to develop and do new things with our partners and with ourselves. So, the whole point is develop new traits, new behaviors. Don't react, don't go off the deep end. And be willing to do new things. But start out small, start out mild. Then work your way up. And eventually you may get to the hot salsa like my honey did. And it is awesome and it's great and it's good. Well, this is our course, From Losing to Winning in Marriage and Relationships. And we hope you've been helped. We hope we said a lot of good things that can help you move from being angry all the way to eating hot salsa in the hot summer sun in Mexico or wherever you want to go, enjoying yourself on the beach. That was the goal, to get you there to the beach and not in your living room arguing, throwing stuff at each other, throwing cheap shots.
Wow. I've enjoyed this session because this was a great snack. Be sure you check out our website on hornbuckles.org. You can also get you one of these fancy marriage nuggets mug. The one I have today is Don't Be Fake. Take care.
Love y'all. Goodbye. Bye-bye. Marriage is back. Hi, I'm William.
Hey, I'm Corinnia. So, how is your marriage?
How do you make marriage last?
Do you want to enrich your marriage?
Well, we have a new book just for you entitled
Marriage Nuggets.
How to Make Marriage Last. You can find it on our website, hornbuckles.org.